Hey guys, what's up? This is Master here. So today we're taking a look at my uncle's box of Star Wars figures. These are all vintage figures from 1977 from the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. I also have this Jabba the Hutt here that doesn't fit into the shoebox that he gave me. But yeah, we're taking a look at all the figures. He has a complete collection from Star Wars A New Hope and not Return of the Jedi. This Empire Strikes Back. Only Jabba is from Return of the Jedi. So let's take a look at them one by one. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider subscribing and let's get straight into it. So over here we have the Star Wars box itself, this kind of little shoe box that he gave me. You can see it's all yellowed up on the Star Wars written there. So here we have all of the figures inside their boxes. These guys look so nice. I simply cannot get over it. I simply love these. At first we have the original Luke Skywalker from the first movie, back when he was in Tatooine. I love this. He's supposed to have this yellow lightsaber here for some reason. They made it yellow so you can put it out at any time. I think this is quite a nice technique, although it doesn't work that much. I think it's quite nice to see this vintage Star Wars ways to have the figures displayed, you know. I love this guy here. I think he's one of like the best ones because he's the OG Luke, you know, the first one from the series. Next, we have another pretty basic one, which is actually my favorite besides Jabba the Hutt, which is the OG Stormtrooper figure. This one is a bit yellowed up because he's quite old at this point. He's over 50 years old, almost, which is way older than I am even. So yeah, this guy is the only one with its original weapon on him. I love this one. I wish I could have like a bunch of them to make a huge army. And I simply love this Stormtrooper, the OG mode that looks like so melted up on the body. There's something about it that I simply adore, man. Then let's take a look at the Chewbacca figure. It does not have its accessories, but as you can see here, Chewbacca looks a bit cursed, you know. His blue eyes there look a bit weird. But yeah, what can I say? They're from 1977. These ones here, I believe Chewbacca was in that original 5-figure pack that they released for Christmas earlier. So this guy is pretty old and I do not blame them for making him a bit weird. But yeah, I simply love this Chewbacca. He's way bigger than a regular figure. As you can see here next to Luke, Chewbacca is on the right side. He looks very nice. So let's go to the next one now. Next, let's see this Cloud City pilot here. Quite a random figure to have. Let's take a look at him together with the Cloud City guard. These two are quite weird for a figure, but I'm glad that my uncle got them when he was younger. These guys used to pilot the not X-Wing, the Cloud City ships, you know, those two ships that were attached to each other, which is quite weird, but yeah, I like this guy a lot. And these ones were simply the guards from Lando Calrissian. I really like them. They look quite nice together, especially this one. I like his uniform and everything. So they're quite background characters, but I love to see them made into figure forms. Then we have quite an important character, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi. My uncle, when I talked to him when he gave me these, he thought he was Luke's uncle, and I was like, no, it's Obi-Wan. And he actually thought Obi-Wan was his uncle, but, well, if you think about it, like in some sort of family ways, it kinda is, but he's not directly his uncle. So yeah, he doesn't have his original lightsaber. It used to be a little blue thing that you could do, just like Luke's. You could get his arm here and stretch it up so it would come out to fight others. Darth Vader also has this, and I believe they're the only ones to have it. They scrapped it after the first movie. But yeah, this original Obi-Wan was supposed to have this cape. Mine doesn't, but I think it looks quite nice nonetheless. He's very nice. I love to see Obi-Wan, the original version, so let's jump to the next one. Then we have one of my also favorites, which is the TIE pilot. This guy, like, in matters of the movie, as you can see, his helmet does not make any sense. He has some sort of peak there for some reason. These were quite old, you know. They got the molds before the movies came out. But yeah, I think this guy is not accurate at all, but for some reason, I simply love these Imperial designs. I think the OG version of them being all molten up onto the body, they look so nice. Like this, especially this one, he appears to be in quite mint condition, which is quite difficult for these figures. They stood into this shoebox for like 50 years, I believe. So yeah, I think this guy here, he looks quite nice. He looks almost new. And I simply love them because I love the Imperials. Then we have the guy that fights Luke in the cantina bar. Do you remember this guy? I think this is the one that Obi-Wan cuts the arms off. He doesn't look like the movie, of course he doesn't, but I'd say this figure is quite like an OG one. I remember seeing pictures of this guy and now I actually own him. He looks a bit weird. He's supposed to be like some sort of swimming alien. But yeah, not accurate to the movie, but there's something, there's some charm to these original figures, the original designs, how they represented them, that this guy simply looks awesome even though he's not accurate. I absolutely love him. Now let's take a look at R2-D2. This guy, when my uncle actually gave it to me, he was super messed up. He didn't have any of his stickers, but I managed to print them online this week just before I record this video, and I managed to repair him a bit. I also did that with R4. You'll be able to see it quite soon. But yeah, he doesn't move his head anymore. He's supposed to, but I actually managed to reprint this, and I think it looks quite nice with the figure itself, because he did not have any of his printing when I got it, but then I made a sticker and glued onto it to make it look a bit better. So this is my R2. I absolutely love this guy. I love every single one of these. But yeah, R2 is such like an OG character. He was from the Christmas pack, just like Chewbacca was. Then let's take a look at C-3PO. I think this guy, I'm almost sure he's supposed to be chrome. He does not have his original printing on him. He seems to have been repainted. As you can see, some parts are missing this repaint. Probably someone spray painted him throughout the years, but actually he looks a bit more accurate like this, not gonna lie, for like a figure. I think it looks quite nice. They did a really good job into repainting it, even though I would like to have the original one 100% original. This one looks quite nice, even with the new painting. And yeah, I really like the C-3PO one. He's like quite loose, as you can see. Most of these, their articulations are like so loose because they are so old, but this guy looks quite nice in my opinion. Now let's see one of my original favorite figures from this set here, which is Zuku's. As far as I know, most people have this cape here deteriorate because it's made out of lead or something, and I have no idea what it's made of. I think it's leather. But yeah, most people don't have this cape, and apparently it's quite rare for my figure to have it because my uncle managed to really keep them preserved inside this box. So yeah, this guy here, he's quite rare apparently with his cape. I have no idea. I'm gonna put the values of the figures as you can see in the video, but for now while I'm recording I have no idea, but I bet this guy is probably the most expensive in the entire set due to him having his original cape on him. Then we have one of the main characters, which are the Tusken Raiders from the first movie. This one also was supposed to have this cape and his gun here on his arms, but I don't have them because my uncle probably lost them when he was younger. He used to live in England when he was younger and he bought all of these in the UK. So now I don't have access to his Alza or anything, so I can't even go looking for the capes. So yeah, he is basically a bit messed up, as you can see. I think he's supposed to have printing on his head here, but he lost it throughout the years. My uncle probably played a lot with this one, but I'm so thankful for him having these. So I'm not even gonna complain about anything because I know how it is to be a kid, to destroy figures. And this guy, he looks so good even though he's all messed up. Next, we have another one of those that I consider my favorites. This one is the AT-AT driver. I love these Imperials, man, and they look like so mint. Especially this one, he's not even a bit yellowed. Even though he's white, he's supposed to be all yellowed up like the Stormtrooper. This one isn't. He looks quite accurate, quite perfect. I love this guy. I love the original Imperials, as I have said like 1,000 times at this point. But this one simply looks perfect, just like the TIE Fighter one. And he's even a bit more accurate than the TIE Fighter. Yo, now we have one of the GOAT Star Wars characters. We have the Gonk Droid. Dude, this is actually a Gonk Droid figure, which is amazing that they actually made this. And my uncle actually bought it. I think he bought the original movie, like the entire set, But yeah, here's the Gonk Droid. He has some weird articulation that makes noises when you move his legs. But yeah, this guy looks so good. I love this Gonk Droid figure. He actually is a Gonk Droid, which I can't believe. And he still has his stickers on. My uncle did not lose them apparently. But yeah, this guy is so awesome. I love to see a Gonk Droid into figure form. Then let's take a look at this Ithorian right here. That's the name of his species. I have no idea the name of the character, but this guy used to creep me out because my uncle, he had actually shown me these as far as I remember when I was younger, and he offered them to me, but I was afraid I was going to break them. And I remember looking at this guy, and thank God I didn't get them earlier because otherwise I would have lost most of them. But this guy, he looks so nice, dude. He's actually quite scary for a kid, you know, when I was 5 years old or something. I remember I saw them and I was quite scared by it. But this guy, he simply looks awesome now that I'm older. I love him. I love having an Ithorian. I love these species from Star Wars. They speak like through their mouths right here, which is like so crazy. I love the basic outfit that they used to have in 1977, just this blue torso here. And this guy, he's very skinny, very weird, but he looks so good. Now let's take a look at one of the main characters once again. This one, he looks like he has brown hair, but it's not his hair. Actually, it's just the X-Wing visor. This guy is supposed to be Luke Skywalker, as far as I know. Him in his X-Wing. I don't know if he came in the playset and my uncle lost the playset. He probably did. But yeah, this one is pretty messed up, as you can see. You can see that he probably played a lot with this Luke Skywalker here. Of course, it's the main hero. Most of the main heroes you see Han Solo, they're basically destroyed, probably because he played a lot with them, and only the background characters managed to survive, like Zuku's. He probably had no idea who Zuku's was, that's why he didn't destroy him. But yeah, the Luke Skywalker is pretty messed up, but I absolutely love this guy, man. I'm so thankful for my uncle actually saving them for me. He's like basically so awesome for giving me these. And I absolutely love this X-Wing pilot, which is actually Luke Skywalker. Then next, let's take a look at Greedo, the one that supposedly shot first or did not shoot first in the first movie. George Lucas said he does, but people can see that he didn't. But yeah, this is Greedo right here. This one is just like Zuko's actually. He looks like quite accurate until this day. I know he has like a basic outfit, but like for a random Rodian figure that you could put in your background like with a bunch of other figures, he looks modern even. This mold here is just so good for his head. He looks like a random Rodian guy, and he's supposed to have his arm like this to be able to hold his pistol there and shoot at Han Solo in the table. This guy, I love the fact that they are so simple, but at the same time, they look so good, you know? I love these vintage vibes of them, and this Greedo for sure looks one of the best. Then let's take a look at another Luke Skywalker. This one is not as messed up as the others, probably because he's in the weird Hoth outfit. Not weird, but you know, background type of outfit. And I really like it. This Luke Skywalker looks so good. Like, he's so detailed, and he still has all of his printing almost intact. It's one of those that is more in mint condition. I have noticed that the figures from the New Hope movie like this, the original ones, they're more messed up. And the ones from the Empire Strikes Back are like in mint condition, as you can see the AT-AT driver too. This is probably because my uncle was growing up, and when he first got these, he would just play with them, like destroying them. And when he had these one, he was like a bit older and more of a collector, you know. That's why he preserved them. But yeah, these ones look so good. I love this Luke Skywalker in mint condition. I'll save these figures forever. It doesn't matter if like someone in the future offers me $1,000,000 for them, I'll never sell them. My uncle gave them to me, and I simply love the fact that he did this. This thing I'm gonna keep forever. I love these figures. This is like one of my favorite collections ever. Now let's see one of my favorites, which is R4. I love this droid, dude. I would always love him when I was younger, and now I actually have the figure, as I said before. I love these guys. I love the printing that I managed to put on him. As you can see here, this is just like the R2 one. I printed this thing here, so he would have his body torsos once again. And this one actually spins around. I love it. He's like so perfect. I love these astromech droids from the R4 units. I love their square type of heads, you know. And this one for sure is one of the most detailed ones. I love the chroming on his neck there. And this one I simply love. I love R4. R4 is forever the GOAT. Here we have the medical droid, as you can see. And by the way, I forgot to mention this guy, R4, showed up in The Mandalorian, which is awesome. R4 is the GOAT, man. He always is the GOAT, forever will be. And this is the medical droid. As you can see, this one is quite detailed. It's one of those ones that I would say that if you wanted to keep them like in your modern collection, they would probably be like one of the best, you know. to have like nowadays. You could fit them without like in the rebel base or anything, and no one would notice it's actually a vintage figure. I think this actually comes out, but mine seems to be stuck there. Oh no, there it is. So it's so curious to see the medical droid face, but with his like sort of respirator on. This guy looks quite good. I love him. He has like such an intricate mold. All of them have exclusive modes to them, you know, which is quite nice of them to do. I love his arms, so detailed, and this one is one of those most detailed ones for sure. So now I think we should take a look at the Snow Trooper. This guy here, as you can see, he is a bit weird if you know these figures, because as far as I know, he's supposed to have, you know, this waist cape here all the way up on his arms, and for some reason he has it on his legs, which I believe is actually more accurate to the movies, but I wasn't the one who did this. I have no idea how this happened, you know. I think my uncle might have like broken it when he was younger, and I don't know, my grandma fixed it up for him and put the cape in the wrong spot. But still, I think it looks more accurate this way, so I absolutely love it. This Snow Trooper, as I said, like in the medical droid, is one of those figures that, like, even though he's pretty basic, you could fit him into a modern Imperial army and he will look like an accurate Snow Trooper, you know? I love his backpack, I love his face, and his torso here that for some reason my uncle changed, which looks absolutely amazing this way. I love these guys. I think he's quite accurate, and as I said, of course, I love the Imperials, and this one is for sure one of the best of them. Now let's take a look at the Imperial droid. I'm gonna speed things up a bit so this video won't be that long, but yeah, this guy has his original chroming here. As you can see, I think only his arms have been repainted. As you can see, they look like a bit different from the original ones, but yeah, this guy, I think he's supposed to be a bit like more silverly, but he looks golden for me. I have no idea why. This might have been original, or like the C-3PO, he could have been repainted, but it doesn't look like it. So yeah, for some reason this Imperial droid is golden, and he still looks quite awesome. It's one of those figures that I've been saying so many times. This one looks like a modern figure. If you could like repaint it up, he will look like it's modern. But yeah, I absolutely love these figures with the intricate molds. Even though they're so old, they look so good until this day. Next up, let's take a look at one of the main characters, as I said, which is the Han Solo. This guy is pretty beat up. I'd say this is probably my uncle's favorite when he was younger. As you can see here, his legs are simply like, look at the articulation. I can't lift them up because they just fall back, because he probably played around with it for so long that nowadays his articulations are completely destroyed. Like he can't even stand up properly, that he always falls. But yeah, he looks so nice. I'm so glad to see like the history that my uncle had with these, you know. He played with them his entire childhood back in England when he lived there. But yeah, I love these guys here. He looks so nice. Han Solo is for sure one of the best Star Wars characters of all time. Now let's take a look at Princess Leia. As you can see here, she is also one of those characters that's supposed to have a cape, you know, like this Snow Trooper cape. She's supposed to have one. But yeah, she looks quite nice even without her face, her cape. I think she has this kind of red mouth, which is quite an Easter egg for this video. My mother used to play around with these, and she used to put like lipstick on her. That's why she looks like she has a bit of a red mouth there. But yeah, my mom, she said that she would always get this one and the Jawa because she thought they look cute. And she would actually play around with Leia while my uncle played with Darth Vader and the other characters. Which is so nice to know that this figure, almost 50 years ago, my mom used to play with when she was like 5 years old. Which is actually crazy. Now, let's stop stalling it. As you can see, we have Darth Vader himself. One of the main, actually the main character probably from the entire movies, which is that Skywalker saga, right? He has his lightsabers too. I think they're all supposed to have a little thing off here, but mine don't because they were damaged throughout the years. But yeah, he also has this lightsaber technique here. Mine can actually fight Luke Skywalker with his yellow lightsaber. As you can see, we can actually remake the duo here. With Luke being like in Tatooine for some reason, he has his lightsaber on. But yeah, let's not complain about that. I love the original molding that they had for him. Such like a basic mold for the time, which is so awesome. And this one, thank God, actually has his cape, you know? Because Darth Vader without a cape would look so bad. But my uncle actually saved the cape. And this guy is probably like one of the best figures for this. I know I love the Stormtrooper, but I say realistically that Darth Vader is probably the best one, you know? He looks so nice. He's just like Darth Vader himself, you know, everyone's favorite Star Wars character. Now we're getting closer and closer to the end. Let's take a look at Lando Calrissian. Not much to say about him. He looks quite good. Actually, he's not like that funny as the others. He actually looks like kind of modern. He also has his cape, as I said. Some of these still have their capes. Thank God my uncle actually saved them. And this one looks quite nice. I love Lando. Lando is like one of my favorite Star Wars characters from the original trilogy. And this guy looks very awesome in figure form. Now let's take a look at these both at the same time. Here we have the Jawa figure that my mom said she would always play with. He doesn't have his cape, but I think he doesn't even need a cape, you know. He looks good like this. He looks quite accurate to the movies. And he's just so small, dude. Look at him next to Darth Vader. Jawa is like very, very small. I love this guy. He's pretty tiny. He looks very detailed actually for the time. They're a bit beat up, as you can see. I don't know why they're kind of like dirty here, most of these figures. But yeah, I absolutely love Jawa. He looks so good. This guy is simply perfect. And finally, our last figure, we have the prototype. Just kidding, it's not the prototype. This one is just a regular Boba Fett, but still, I think he's worth like a lot of money until this day, even though he's not the prototype. But yeah, this guy, I love him. He looks so good for the time. Like, I think even though he has like quite a basic mold and printing for the time, you know, he is probably the most detailed out of all of these. As you can see, like, let's compare him to Darth Vader, for example. Like, Darth Vader has printing, has intricate molds and everything, but this guy simply has like printing on everything. He's supposed to be very detailed, and I think they did a very good job at it. This one looks so good. I love Boba Fett as a figure and as a character, so this one is probably one of the best figures to finish our series with. This guy looks so nice. I absolutely love Boba Fett, and I believe like everyone probably thinks the same. This one is probably one of the best looking of all time. But we're not over yet. This one is actually a figure that my uncle bought with me nowadays. We actually won a bid on a eBay Canada version. So yeah, we actually got this for 10 Canadian dollars, which was quite cheap, I believe, for an original Jabba the Hutt from Return of the Jedi. This one looks awesome. He's so huge, as you can see here. So I absolutely love him. And he's probably my most accurate Jabba figure. Like, even though he's very old, I think the molding on him is just so perfect. Like, if you wanted to actually repaint it, you can make like a very, very, very accurate Jabba, you know? I love Jabba the Hutt. As I said before, he's my favorite Star Wars character of all time. And I know in the camera it doesn't seem like it, but this guy is huge. Like, I have big hands and he's like almost bigger than my hands. He's very big. He's awesome. It doesn't barely fit in the camera. And I absolutely love Jabba the Hutt, the best Star Wars character of all time. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!